I'm going to go through this exercise with you to give you possibly some hints into doing tables. The first thing it says to do is to replace your name, so I'm going to click where it says your name. So you would put your name in. Then it says to bold the text in the first two rows, so I'm going to go over to the side, get those first two rows and bold those. And it says to change the font in the first row, so I'm going to select the first row by pointing at that, and I'll just pick like Comic Sans and make it 14 point. And then it says to put a double border around the outside edge of the table. I need to select the table, so I'm going to click. Now notice up here I'm going to get another tab when I click the table. So if I click right here, there's my table, and then design and layout here. So if I go to the design tab, go to the line style here and choose double, and then go to borders and make sure that I choose outside border. Now I'm going to have a double border around the outside. If I didn't have the single borders on the inside, I could select my table and go back into the line style, choose single, and then choose inside borders, and I would get those to come back in. Okay, it says make the name column 1.5 inches. So it's not a true column anymore because I've done this, so I'm going to select this, and then I'm going to go to layout and go to the cell widths, and it is 1.5. I can adjust it though by going down or up. Okay, I'm going to select these three groups of cells, and again, if the width were not what I want, in this case it is 1 inch, but if it were not, I can go up or down just by having them selected and go up into here. It says to move column B so that it is before column A. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to select this group, and I'm going to cut it by going Control X. I'm going to select this group, put my mouse up on the top cell and just bring it over to here and release my mouse, click back here and go Control V to paste, and that allows me to switch tables back and forth, columns back and forth. Okay, it says type 2008 above the first numbered column, so I'm going to make this one 2008 and this one 2007. And over here it's going to be the word difference. It says use formulas to add both columns at the bottom. So I'm going to come down to here. I'm going to add my numbers, but I don't want to get 2008. If I go to formula, I can have my mouse on the blue title bar and drag this around. Okay, this is cell B3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If I go by the default sum above, I can double click on above and type in B3 and a colon B7. And for the number format, I want it to be dollars and cents, so that's the third one down that has the dollar sign, so I'm going to click OK. And then I'm going to do the same thing over here. Go into formula, where it says sum above, I'm going to click there, and this is going to be C3 colon means through, C7, number format, dollars and cents, and say OK. And says use left align for all cells, but for those in the first two rows. So I'm going to grab all my cells here and make sure that I'm in left align. So I'm going to go back to the Home tab, click on left align to make sure that that's what they are. And then it says to use decimal tabs for all money cells. So I'm going to come to here, and I've got a decimal tab here. I'm going to throw this out for right now so it looks more like what you have. If I click over to here till I get my decimal tab, then I'm just going to kind of eyeball here. And my numbers are a little too far to the left, so I'm going to hold my alternate key down and drag that a little bit more to the right until I'm happy with the appearance. So the same thing here. I'm going to get rid of that one that was there. I'm going to click up here, and then I'm going to hold my alternate key down, drag it over until it looks centered. It says increase the first row to 0.5, so I'm going to click in the first row, go to design, actually layout I guess it is, and the cell height right now on mine is 0.21. I'm going to just keep increasing until it says 5. And this looks a little too high up, so if I click right here, it'll center it vertical and horizontally. See how that makes it come down more? We're going to put a color in there, so I'm going to be in there, go into design, go into shading, and pick a color. And over here I'm going to do a formula again. So I'm going to go into layout, formulas, and I want the equal sign, but I want to go B3 minus C3 and change it to dollars and cents and say OK. And if I go Alt F9, I can see that coding in there. Now if I want to, I could do that all the way through, only this would be B4 minus C4, B5 minus C5, but I can select this by clicking on it and go Control C for copy. Then I can paste my formula down where I want that subtraction to occur. Then I can go here and I can grab my 3 here, make it a 4, make that a 4, then go to here, make that a 5, make that a 5, make this a 6, and this one a 6, and make this one a 7, and make this one a 7. And then down here, if I want to, I can copy this formula. I can go Control C, go over here and paste it. Then I can make this one D3 and this one D7. And when I go Alt F9, it'll toggle that off again. I'm going to select all of these, make sure that I am in left align. And so I'm going to select them all, click up here. And one of the things that's making this not work, see when I go into these cells there's a decimal tab over here. For some reason, so I'm just going to go out there and get rid of it. It's just something left over from before. So away it goes. Now I ended up with 2 in here, so I'm going to subtract 1, or minus 1. And as I click in here now, you can see that they all have decimal tabs except for this one, so I'm going to click a decimal tab in there, and then I can scoot it to make it line up with the other numbers. And that looks pretty good. Okay. And that concludes this demo.